This is a demonstration of the HLImage++ measurement and calibration tools. We'll start off with just the measurement tool, measuring the distance between 2 points in an image. Let's say we need to know the distance between the tips of these first 2 lines. We'll open up the measurement tool, click point-to-point measurement, set our ROI mode to draw point ROIs, and then click the tip of each of the lines. As you can see, we now have the distance between the 2 points measured at 81.099 pixels. But let's say we want to measure the real-world distance in inches instead of in pixels. To do that, we'll need to create a calibration object. To do that, we'll use a photograph of an image we know the measurements of, taken with the same camera in the same position. For this example, we'll pretend that that's the case with these 2 images. To set up the calibration, we'll open the calibration tool, and I'm going to turn ROI drawing off just for convenience later in this demonstration. To create the calibration, we need to set up 4 calibration points. I'll start by clicking point 1 and then clicking on the image in the position where I want the first calibration point set. Since that was point 1, 1 on my grid, I'll enter the world coordinates 1, 1. Now I click point 2 and click another point. This one is at position 1, 8 on the grid. Note that you'll get the best calibration if you set the points near the 4 corners of the image. Now let's do point 3. That's at grid position 10, 8. And point 4 we'll put at grid position 10, 1. When setting up a calibration, we want our points positioned as accurately as possible, so I'm going to zoom in and nudge them around a little bit to make sure they're in the correct positions. To move a calibration point, I right-click it to activate it, and then I can move it with the arrow keys on my keyboard. You'll notice that as I move the calibration point, the numbers in the calibration tool update automatically to reflect the new position. I'm using the scroll bars to scroll around the image, but the tab key works just as well to move between ROIs. The image will automatically scroll to display the active ROI, so if your points aren't right in the corners where they're easy to find, that may be an easier way to navigate around. Now that our calibration points are set accurately, I can click Create to create the calibration object, and then click Test of Selected Calibration Object to verify that it's working as desired. As you can see, as I move the mouse around the image, the coordinates that are displayed update, and if I position the mouse near X coordinate 8 and Y coordinate 6, you'll see that the correct numbers show up. So now we have a good calibration and we want to apply it to our measurement. We'll activate the image we're measuring in, select the calibration, and click Attach to Image. With the calibration attached to the image, any HLImage++ tool that makes measurements of distance or pixels or area will display its measurements in the calibrated units rather than in pixels. To update our measurement, we'll click point to point again to clear the old measurement, and then right-click each of the point ROIs that we previously set to activate them and make the measurement again. As you can see, the distance is now calculated to be 1.432 inches. Inches are displayed because here in the calibration tool we had selected inches as our unit of measure. And if we line the 2 images up with each other, you can see that the points are indeed just short of 1.5 lines or inches apart from each other.